Next for Harris, your character Conrad exemplifies the idealism of the era. What makes Conrad tick, and what did you like best about playing him?
Wow, great question. I think that I think at that time in history, everyone was certainly my character's age were going off and joining the British military and kind of being defined by their bravery, and I think being held back by his father's ideals and pacifism is it's something that deeply frustrates him, and I think that's one of the first things I, as an actor, latched onto, and tried to sort of find the role through is that frustration and that desire to want to discover the world for yourself. And yeah, it was an interesting sort of dynamic between Rafe and I, so I enjoyed that.
What was the most fun about playing in a period film that also
Oh,
had
yes.
the action and spectacle of the Kingsman films?
Yes, sorry. Well, it's not every. Well, I think I was very lucky in the sense that I got to have these very dramatic scenes with Rafe and Gemma and Jaimin, but also get to go off and do the action as well. And I think there's not many projects where you have that. So just I was kind of spoiled in that regard. Yeah.
Can you tell us about filming the battle scenes in the trenches, and how realistic was it, and how did you feel about it?
Well, I guess I'll start. It was very realistic. Matthew and the whole construction team, the art department, the set deck, they really went to town on all of those scenes. They transformed an airfield in the English countryside into trenches, and it was all there. It had all been built. So I really didn't have to. I didn't have to wander far in terms of imagination. So, yeah, I think with those sort of scenes, you just try and. There's so many elements, and they have multiple cameras, and there's explosions and timings, and it is quite scary. It becomes more than just. You notice how switched on your mind is in those moments because you have so many things to remember, and if you mess up or you go at the wrong time or you don't hit your mark, there's 20 other elements that are going to be affected by it. So I think it just really forces you to be focused in those moments.
And let's see, next one. This is going to also be to both of you. It's tell us about working with director Matthew Vaughn and his style.
Just going off of what Gemma just said as well, I think Matthew, he's incredibly impressive. He takes risks within this genre, and I felt like he put a lot of trust in me to portray the role, and he was really sort of kind and caring with it. And I think at the size of a film like this and the amount going on, he was also such an important presence of keeping everyone calm and just having assurance in your director is so important. So yeah, it was great. It's one of those things where you make something and a few years go by and you have fond memories of it, but you kind of forget about the overall experience. You remember certain aspects and you remember how sort of lucky you were to be doing it, and I'm excited for people to see it. It's one of those films that will probably be beneficial at a time like this. We've been in a pretty rough sort of situation societally, so hopefully people can watch it and enjoy it because everyone worked really hard. So yeah, I'm looking forward for the world to sort of finally hopefully enjoy it. A comedy and adventure? Well, I think Matthew's done a beautiful job at balancing those two. It's definitely got its absurd, funny moments. It definitely spans multiple locations, many characters, wonderful characters. But, at the heart of it are some really funny performances. Rhys Ifans in particular, even Rafe and Gemma have some brilliant comedy moments. So it dances the line between the two, and I think that audiences want to see that. I think audiences are open to being sort of taken on an epic journey, but also having some levity and lightness to it as well, you know. I got to do so many interesting things. I got to do so many fun stunts, and working with people like Jaimin Hunsu, Ray Fiennes, Jim Arterton. Yeah, it's a great job. You know, I like no complaints. It's just good. Anticipation, nerves, I suppose, excitement. I don't know. Yeah. That was such a nice sort of like end to it. Well, not that it's finished, but all my family were there and like friends were there. So I'm seeing it in the IMAX, the cinema that I grew up going to. You know, it was cool.